Hello, welcome to our continuing World War II lecture. Today we're going to get all the way to victory, but then in a follow-up lecture, we'll discuss some more of the finer points and some heroes from World War II. Now, I'd like to introduce you to our location today. Behind me, the smaller growing tree is a persimmon tree that I planted. It's growing up there in the sun. It's going to have small orange fruit. When it gets more mature, it is the persimmon tree. And then mostly for recording today, I'm going to be in front of this fig tree. So the large tree behind me is a fig tree, which does grow figs every year. I got it from a farmer's market in Pflugerville, and I planted it, and it just grows bigger every year with wonderful fruit. So that's a delightful treat. I definitely recommend fig trees for this area. Oh, we're going forward. Okay. So let's see, to go back a few slides, you kind of see a little preview of what's coming there. We're going to look first at the Victory Gardens. So think about ways that World War II is a total war. And we learned about that in World War I, that a total war is when everyone contributes to the war effort. Countries involved in World War II, pretty much all the countries involved, had different kinds of rationing. And it wasn't just food, although food was rationed so that the soldiers could have a constant supply of energy shipped to them. But other materials were rationed as well. Fabrics were rationed so that the soldiers could have uniforms. So perhaps you couldn't buy, or it was frowned upon to buy a new hat because the fabric was being rationed. And steel, aluminum were all being rationed and saved and contributed. So everyone felt like they were contributing to the war effort. And you may have heard of the Victory Gardens. People were encouraged, even in the city, to take a small plot of land and have an urban farm. Of course, if you lived in suburbs or country areas, you were encouraged to have a large farm so that you could grow a lot of your family's food, buy less, and then there'd be more available for the soldiers, was the idea. Now, this photo up here to the left on the screen is Winston Churchill, and then the photo on the right of the man with the hat talking to a soldier, that's Dwight Eisenhower. I'm going to include for you in this class, there will be 2 links in the email. One, you'll get to see a video of Winston Churchill delivering a really important speech. And the other is an audio of our General Dwight Eisenhower giving a speech to the troops right before they risked their lives in the heroic D-Day effort. And you can read 2 quotes here. The speech included on this slide is the actual typed speech that General Eisenhower gave, or he was also called Uncle Ike, gave to those soldiers. Very encouraging. But you'll hear it clicking on that link in our class email today. Kind of the opposite when I think of raising positive morale towards truth, kind of the opposite of that, you have a guy named Goebbels in Germany. And Goebbels was in charge of all of the German propaganda. World War II and Germany brings, in terms of communication, one of the most elaborate, widespread organizations of information that has been done. Certainly communist countries do restrict and organize their information, but it's hard to find a level of strategic brainwashing of a nation that rivals the extent to which Germany went through, from the youngest to the oldest people. Every message that the government sent, and including in education, what was in the schools, they tried to control and use even what was preached from pulpits in churches. Everything had to be pro-Nazi. So it was very restrictive and ended up promoting a lot of lies, to the point where the German people really thought that the rest of the world were the villains. People ask, well, how do people in Germany, the everyday people, let these kinds of evils happen? Goebbels had a lot to do with it.